Let's Dance film. By all means, an exciting one. And we welcome Dani. Dani, she would have been in this business for at least 15 years. Born in Australia, now living in the US. Dani Swan joins us, a creative director. And for those who are familiar with the Matrix movie, the Resurrection 4, that particular installment, she was the lady in red next to Keanu Reeves, you know. Yes, Dani, welcome, welcome.
Hi.
Great to have you with us on the Morning Brew.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
That's right. 15 years in the business. I know that it's everything from modeling to dance to now film. How's this journey been for you thus far? And what was your real major breakthrough and moment that, you know what, moment of reckoning, saying that this is me, this is what I want to do?
You know, I've known my whole life. You know, I mean, I think there's a big joke with my family back in Australia that I used to roll in the splits as a 2-year-old before I crawled. So I think I've always known I was to venture overseas. I left my country at 18. I got scouted quite young and went straight to Europe, then into the USA. But I always knew that I was going to be a performer. Acting, dance has always been a very big part of my life. But also, alongside it, I've been a choreographer, and you know, it's been that beautiful journey of being both in front of the camera and behind. So, and I think if you can think of a moment where it was a reckoning, you know, I know it sounds funny, but I've told a lot of people this, but I think it's when I was on Matrix, getting to work with Lana Wachowski, that was just having her kind of pat me on the back and say, good job, you know, I went in, did my job, got out, and you know, I had them on my books when I was in school, you know, so to be able to work with them is it's a pretty full circle moment, you know? Yeah,
that's, I mean, a watershed moment, really amazing moment, I can only imagine. Can you break down for us what a motion capture performer really does? Because we saw some footage there. So I would imagine they put you in front, probably a green screen, or they might put all these different, I guess,
it's
components. What really takes place in that moment? Walk us through it.
Well, the lame terms, people always say, oh, you're the girl, you wear the dots, right? The suit, it's a lot more complicated, but pretty much what it is in you know, to simplify it is they put us in a suit in a dome. It depends on what it is, because motion capture's gone into live now as well, so where it's wireless. But primarily what I do is video games and movies. And with that, you're in a dome generally, and you're wearing the motion capture suit. And what it does is, it's amazing. It takes the data from the dots and actually takes like the 3D model of you. And then from there, they put the animation on top of it. And so really it's quite a limitless form of art. I love it. It brings both tech and movement into one for me. So it's very different from being on set as an actor and performing, because you have to be quite technical. You have to know your marks really on point with this, and you also have to be able to do the voice, you have to do the movement. It's quite a full art form.
Wow, and for those looking on here in Trinidad, those young dancers, young people getting into choreography at this point in time, and they're looking at you for inspiration, just walk them through ways to keep their body fit, because what you're doing is your entire body is the vessel. You have to stretch, you have to move, you have to be, you know, be able to have all these fluid movements. What's your particular routine to ensure that all is well physically?
I just want to say I love the Caribbean. I feel like you guys are my second home, all my friends here. You guys ask the best questions. That is a great question. So I've actually been doing Pilates since I was probably 19, and I have been teaching it ever since then as well. So I actually get up every morning, like, you know, people just see the end result. They don't see all the grind that comes in it. So I train every morning between 5 and 6. I do a routine. I try to do it at the end of the night as well. I do a mix of core, flexibility. I also do hanging, so on a trapeze in the Pilates, so it's called the Cadillac, just to keep myself conditioned. And when I'm traveling so much, I've kind of adapted you know, my environments. So I will do a workout in my hotel room and just utilize the things that are in there. I'll use the end of the bed to do my triceps. You know, I just constantly am making sure that my body is ready. I always say that, you know, because at the end of the day, it is exactly what you said. It's my vessel, it's my work, but it's also my livelihood. Yeah, and also if you don't keep it up, someone else is going to come in and take your job. So that's the way this industry is. So,
listen,
yeah.
I truly admire what you're doing because, I mean, recently I was in a party, I went down low to take a wine, I pull a muscle, you know, I feel something pulling the back of my leg, and I was just bubbling down low, you know. Imagine. Yeah. And you flipping, I mean, this is tremendous. The Matrix movie, before we wrap things up for the Matrix fans, how was it working alongside the likes of Keanu Reeves and that amazing cast and just being there?
It was great. I knew Lana and the crew beforehand, and look, as I've always said, my dream is to work with you know, the same people for 20 years. Like, that's a dream, you know, and that's why I'm looking to try to bring film here, you know, and to see them all know each other, it just felt like a big family. But also, yeah, it was just fantastic. The level of professionalism, getting on set, doing, as I said, you get on set, you do your job, you get off. And I think that is what I try to be known for, is that reliable. They know that Dan gets on, she nails it, and will get off set. And I think that's something that people don't realize in the industry. It's, you know, it's not all the glamour and the glitz. You don't come on and socialize. You're there to do a job, and they really respect that. Yeah, but though it was very cool. I mean, Keanu is lovely, but we're also just before the pandemic, so and then during the pandemic, so it was a bit different, you know, filming at that time.
Dani, before we wrap things up, if those looking on this morning want to just monitor your progress, monitor all what you're doing, probably advance the conversation, how can they find you online? What's your social media presence like?
Yeah, so I have my Instagram is Dani Swan Official, but they can also contact, I've got my website, which is daniswan.com. They can contact me through my, you know, my management team are there, and also my email is there as well. I'm very much about mentoring. I still hope that when I'm, you know, 70, I'm being, you know, I'm learning from my mentors. So I believe that you always have to give back. It's very important.
Dani, it's been a real pleasure this morning. Thanks so much for being part of it. And we will monitor all the progress and your success.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, you're most welcome. We love Matrix, you know, that's a big movie here in Trinidad. From the very first one, I went to a cinema called Globe to see the first Matrix. Globe don't even exist no more. People push and shove to get in. It was crazy.
Yeah. I will say this just to finish, just to make you laugh. They're showing me around trying to make me fall in love with Trinidad, which isn't hard, you know. And I had one of the guys that, my security that was with us, turned around and said she did Matrix, and he started doing the, you know, the backward bend, you know, midway through while he was cutting me up some oysters and trying to make in a coconut, you know.
Yeah. Trust me, it's a big hit here, and we thank you for being on the show this morning. All the best.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Oh, you mean Matrix? I remember that. Could never forget. Myself, Karen, Damian, Marcelin, Karen and Damian, my cousins, and yeah, we had a fight up again. Globe. Imagine that. That's how long ago. And oh my goodness. I mean, you remember Globe? You remember Presidente and Palladium and how it was back in the day in those movies. What was the big one in San Fernando? I can't remember. Somebody will remind me when we come back and open the lines. 624-8721 and 627-8658. Your calls up next.